Welcome back to another episode of Beard Zero Fishing. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So today, now that I've already discussed what lure I like to use, I've discussed how to detect a strike whenever you're bass fishing, now I'm going to talk about how you actually set the hook while you're bass fishing. Now, setting the hook is where it all starts, really, other than detecting the strike, but that's where the fight with the fish actually starts. Now, if you don't get a good clean hook set, more often than not, the fish is able to thrash around and he's able to throw the hook and you end up coming up empty-handed. So, in order to prevent that, you have to do your hook sets a little bit more methodical. You have to plan your hook sets out. Although sometimes it happens really fast, and in time it will come to everyone. I've learned over many years how much time I really have, especially when fishing with soft plastics. Usually you have a little more time than you think. They don't usually just pick it up and drop it instantly. They normally hang on for at least a few seconds, but once you've determined that you have a strike, what you need to do before you move your rod tip, before you do anything, you need to determine which way that fish is headed. If it's moving, you don't want to set your hook the same way the fish is moving. So if the fish is moving to your left and you set the hook left, you're likely to pull the hook right out of his mouth. Now, if he's moving left and going that way, I want to set the hook going back this way. So that way I have the best chance at getting a hookup. It's really overlooked, this part of the hook set, on identifying which way the fish is going. That is very critical to nailing most of your hook set. I'm not saying that I nail all of mine. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. What you can do is increase the amount of hookups that you do get. So, with that being said, now that you've determined, okay, I have a bite, now that you've determined, okay, he's moving to my left or he's not really moving at all, I'm gonna just set the hook. First thing, you want to reel down and you want to get your rod tip almost parallel with the water. Then, when you go to set the hook, don't be timid. Don't be soft. Don't be gentle. Don't just do a little sweep. You need to let him have it. That is the best advice I can tell you. Let him have it. You got to go from parallel to the water, bring it up 90 degrees almost instantly. And if you do that, the rod tip has its built-in action and it's not going to break your rod. I promise, unless you're using a super ultralight rod. If you're using a medium action bait casting rod, you're not going to break your rod with the hook set unless the rod was already damaged. This will bury the hook in. And when you bury that hook, more often than not, they're not coming out until you take that hook out.
Hey, that hook buried in there good too. There we go.
So, with that in mind, hopefully this helps you guys a little bit, or helps someone. If I can help at least one person, then I've kind of done my job. So thank you so much for tuning in for this episode of Beard Zero Fishing. As always, wishing you tight lines and calm waters, and I'll catch you next time.